Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to look at a crash cart. So let's go down this highway. So let's go ahead and grab the crash cart and take a quick look at it. So it's right here in the menu. You could choose a color, but it does absolutely nothing. And the first thing you'll probably notice is that this is not a normal car where you would have a driver or anything like that, because there's no place for a driver. So I have to assume that this car would be controlled with a remote or something for it to actually make sense. But it's basically the bare minimum you would need for a vehicle to be able to drive. It's a frame with some tires and an engine strapped to it. And it has that thing on the front, which is actually an interchangeable piece. Right now it's a cement block, but you can make that cement block into a pole, which looks like that. Or you could have it be a cement block with bulge, which is the same as the other cement block, but it has this little addition at the bottom. Or you could have it as the ramp A, which is similar to the snow plow, or that plow that you can have on the big rig, but it is a totally different shape. But it does the same thing roughly. We'll try all of these out, starting with the pole and working our way down the list. Obviously, we need something to crash into if we're going to do that, so let's go ahead and spawn up another vehicle. So I think what I'll do is I'll just drive the truck for a while, and then do a U-turn, and then I'll crash it into the crash cart. Although I'll probably be the crash cart, and the AI can be the truck, because it sounds like it'd be a lot more fun ruining a truck than being the truck that's getting ruined. So once this thing hits 90, I'll go ahead and do a 180, and that should be more than enough distance to get a nice collision between the two. So right there, slow it down, spin it around. Actually, before you spin it around, let's put this as a reset point. That way, I don't have to worry about driving it away again. So I could just reset it here. So I'll put it right in the middle of the road so it's nice and lined up. Come the crash cart, turn the AI to chasing player. And then, I just have to hope that we get a good collision out of this. And the crash cart's actually surprisingly fast. Like, we're already about to reach 60 miles per hour and reached it. This would be a great car to race. I mean, it is mid-engine, rear-wheel drive. What more do you want? And I don't know where the AI is coming from. He's all crooked and stuff. But the AI is just going to be the AI, I guess. So we'll do 100 times slow-mo on this one so you could really see what's happening here. The car does go inside the truck a little bit, but it seems to do a good amount of damage to it, that's for sure. Crash cart's pretty durable. Like, I'm thinking that pole, it'll be a little bit damaged, but the rest of it will pretty much be virtually undamaged and still good to go. The truck, on the other hand, I don't think that thing's gonna drive. Doesn't sound like it. So let's go ahead and move the crash cart back to spawn so we can actually take a look at these two things separately, because you actually want to look at both of them in this one. So you want to look at the crash cart, see how it held up. You see, the pole did bend downward some, but it should still drive if we're not stuck in the ground. Jiggle it free, and yeah, still drives. Not 100% straight. You can see that the tires aren't exactly perpendicular to the road, but it's totally drivable, and I could crash into that truck again if I wanted to, which I will later. First, let's take a look at the truck. The truck, well, he's seen better days. He's totaled. Simple as that. You can just look at the damage he received, and it's hard to say what it should look like, but I think it looks pretty good. So let's go and be the crash cart again, and now let's crash into the truck again because we can. I bet the crash cart would be pretty good in a destruction derby. See, that one we hit him on the tire though. That means the crash cart's gonna be toast. Yeah, it's not driving there, no. And I guess I didn't mention this, but I should point that out. You see those weird looking triangle looking pieces like here and here? Those are the cameras actually. So when you hit the camera button, you're actually the camera that's on those pieces. So you're not just like a floating camera for some reason. It's a logical camera that makes sense. So let's go ahead and tell the AI to stop driving my car for me. I was going to say tell the AI to turn off, but then they started driving. Put the truck, reset the truck, and we'll put the part on the front from the pole to the cement block with bulge. And we'll see if there's a significant difference between the cement block and the cement block with bulge. But ideally, this should basically be like slamming into a brick wall that has a small part on the bottom. The other one should be like slamming into a brick wall. I forgot which one I was using when I got halfway through that sentence. So I don't know where I was going with that, but we'll see what it looks like. Looks like the AI did a U-turn this time, and he's way over here. That's works for me. So is that bulge gonna go under the truck? It looks like it will. So the bulge went under the truck, and then it's gonna ruin the tires though. Like, the tires are virtually gone, at least on the side that it hit. That was an offset collision, so that's worse for the driver of the truck than if it was in the middle. Go ahead and speed things up. So move the cart back to spawn. You can look at it. It is not quite drivable anymore. The cement block has been pushed in a significant amount. The truck is obviously not drivable. And looking at the damage, I do kind of notice there's a slope to this part where it hit. So I wonder if that's just the way the truck happens to have crashed there, or if it's more than a coincidence, if it's because it has the bulge at the bottom it looks like that. I'm not sure. The cart's trying to drive at the truck. It needs to just calm down for a second. I'll turn the AI off, put just the normal cement block now, and go ahead and reset the truck. And tell them to come and get it. That's weird. My controller, you could hear it when you click the little button, like listen. Oh, it didn't squeak now. You're making me look like a liar, controller. I brought it up to the microphone and everything. Alright, whatever. So let's see this one. Just the cement block. You know, the other thing, it might be because we're going so fast that the truck, it like deforms the block to be at an angle that's downward. So we go and put the cart back at spawn. I think it still drives at this point. Oh, that drives perfectly. It'd be really difficult to actually just break this thing, because it's just so strong and solid. But you can deform it, like it does have a J-beam structure to it, so you could deform it eventually, but it's hard because it's so strong. So how's the truck? It actually does look flatter in the collision. Like it doesn't have as much of a slope to where it got hit. It's a flat part where it got hit. So it does make a difference which one you're using right there. That's pretty much proof of that. So the next thing we could do is we could take the cart, put the ramp on it, and tell the AI to reset just so everybody's moving at the same speed. Well, similar speeds, I should say. The cart is faster than the truck, so obviously it's going to be moving faster. And we'll see how the ramp does. I think I see the truck on the right side, so yes, he is here. He's going to hit like right in the middle. Super slow-mo. That's not how ramps work. Okay. We're going under the truck, apparently. I guess you shouldn't hit it head-on because that's how head-on collisions look. Actually, the truck got some air out of it, so that's impressive. Pretty sure a head-on collision is not the ideal way of doing that, though. So let's go ahead and try that again and see if we can get a not head-on collision. It's gonna be a little difficult to do that, knowing me, because the AI, they want a head-on collision. They are some crazy people. They want a head-on collision. I actually, for once, don't. So that looks pretty good. Looks like they're gonna just hit the side. Yep. So let's see if that works better, or if we're just going too fast for the ramp. It might just be the speed we're going at. Oh, that looked like it worked nice. So it lifts the truck up. It does ruin it a bit, but it lifts it up. And it just flipped it out of the way. I should try that on a stationary vehicle, too. That might be interesting. But it got it out of the way. And the AI managed to wreck my ramp. How you do this? Why you do this, AI? Alright, so let's go ahead and put the AI to off. The truck, what are you doing, truck? Stop accelerating. The truck right here. And what I think I'll do is I'll get this ramp close to the truck, reset it, and then do the crash at a more reasonable speed using a reasonable object. So no ramp or anything. We're going to use the cement block, and we're going to hit the truck at like a crash testing speed, like an actual crash test. Not I want to obliterate the truck and that's what I'm going to do speeds. I want to see how safe the truck is speed. So we're going to use the just normal cement block, no bulge, and I'm just going to drive straight into the truck, and by the time I get to it, I should be going a good speed, like 40 miles per hour. That seems pretty reasonable. Here we go. Test the safety. Bump. See? That's a good way to do safety testing, because that's actually kind of what it was designed for. It's just a good way to see how safe a vehicle is. So 40 mile per hour collision, excuse me, is pretty safe for the truck. And that's what you could really use it for a lot of, is some safety testing stuff. And I did a video like that in the past. I could always do it again, I don't know. I thought that video turned out pretty well. It might still be pretty well. but this cart would work great for something like that. Just seeing how safe vehicles are comparatively for like a side collision. You just use this and bump into it. I know this is the second hit at a higher speed. I'm just curious, how much more damage could we do? Got the truck to flip, and now the driver don't look so safe. He got the plastic deforming into his spleen. It's definitely a negative. But you can see that truck works great for doing stuff like this. You could do a rear-end collision test too. This one would have to be at a higher speed considering it's a truck. So you're not going to get much out of it. Yes, even at 50 miles per hour, it's not too much damage. I like how the bed of the truck caught the tailgate. It's like, that's mine. I need that. And it just stayed in the truck. So let's go ahead, put the truck back, and now let's try a little bit more crazy things. And let's use the ramp once again. And we'll do this at a lower speed. I think the other one is just too fast. Too fast. So if we do this at a lower speed, I think the ramp will work a little bit better. I don't know if it matters if I'm at the front or the back of the vehicle. Hopefully it doesn't. There we go. See, that worked great for just shoving the vehicle out the way. And if you have a supercomputer, you could do multiple vehicles at once and shove them all out the way. I honestly doubt I could do much more than maybe 3, at least in real time. You know, there's a secret thing you could do in editing where you record it at 8 times slower and then you speed it up to 8 times faster in the editing, and that's how you make it look like the game runs great when you have 50 cars on screen. That's what most people do, I'm pretty sure. Because there's no way this game would run normally good with so many cars on screen. So here we go, let's just smack into the truck. And yeah, actually it shoves under it too when it's on its side. That ramp does a good job of getting under things. Very good ramp. So what we could do is we could change this out to be something else. Let's use a Grand Marshal, not the police package for once. That's crazy. I never said that before. It's almost always the police package, but this time it's different. What's different? I don't know. I just don't feel like using the police package. I just wanted to get a car that's a little bit lower to the ground versus the truck and see if it could still get under it easy or not. So that Grand Marshal sits pretty low to the ground. Not quite as low as the Bull Light, I'm pretty sure, but it's the custom. Maybe it does. I don't know. Oh yeah, still shoves it out the way. Not the greatest shove, but it got it out of its way with minimal damage to it. You know, this thing looks like a battle bot from like Robot Wars or whatever those things are called, where you have the robots that fight each other. That's what this thing looks like. All it needs is like a button to flip the ramp up and then really flip the cars when you get under them. That's all you need. It'd be like just like that. There's a video game that's that, and I have that game somewhere. It's a fun game. Let's see. So how about this? Let's take the cart, put the cement block with bulge on it, and let's test the safety of the Grand Marshal's side impact collisions. So right there. Man, I'm making my words sound weird right now. Again, I'm recording a video when tired, so I notice my words just kind of, they don't sound quite right. Oh, no slow-mo. That car got bashed though. You see how like it bounced when it got hit. That was impressive amount of force put into it, and it held up nicely. Like again, that'd be a really good thing to test this kind of stuff. It seems like Grand Marshal's a pretty safe car. And it is a big heavy sedan, so it should be pretty safe. Now if we had something like the Pigeon, I'm pretty sure that won't be nearly as safe, so we can go ahead and try that. Just for laughs, I'm pretty sure the driver will be obliterated from this one. Oh, it's right-hand drive, so let's make sure the driver is the one that's getting hit. How violent am I? And we're just gonna smash into him and see what happens. Man, why is there no slow-mo? Slow-mo's on the Pigeon. Oh well. You know what? You know what's funny? The Pigeon's so light, it kind of just bounced away. It didn't even take a lot of the impact into the actual vehicle. It's just the impact was changed in the momentum, and it just kept going. So it actually ended up being quite safe. I guess I need something on the other side of it to stop it from just flying along and cheating. Unfortunately, I don't feel like doing that, so instead let's just flip it over. Saying, as a way of saying, how dare you not do what I think you would do. This car should be easy to flip. I mean, it flips itself over. That thing flew beautifully. Oh, it landed upright. No. You do not land upright. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are landing upright? I said flip. Man, plowing through pigeons is just one of those things that is so pleasing because it barely slows you down. Like, you just go right through them because they're so light. It feels so good. Look, boom. Oh, that's so nice. All right, so let's do a true test for my computer, and we'll just plow through a bunch of pigeons. We'll start with like maybe let's go crazy. Let's go 6 pigeons, and we're gonna try to plow through all of them. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3. I don't know. It's close enough. I wasn't counting when I was clicking. I was just like, yeah, it's probably about 6. Hard part's trying to go through them all. It's like, here's a truck, here's a pigeon, here's a truck, and that's not what I want. There we are. Let's go ahead and make them a color too, because having all of them white is boring. Let's have them all green instead. Alright, now we're just gonna kind of place them roughly in line with where the ramp would be. And setting up the pigeons is actually a long, boring, and repetitive process, so I decided to edit that out, and they are now here. And the crash cart is way back here and ready to go. We're gonna try a couple of attempts at this. The first one will be at full speed and see if my computer can handle it. I think it should be okay-ish because they are pigeons after all. If I was using full-sized cars, it would probably be a little bit worse. But pigeons should be okay. So let's go ahead and try to get a cool camera angle on this before we actually hit them. So like this looks good, and then full speed. Yes. Not too much lag. It was about 30 frames per second. That's not terrible. I did set up the pigeons, by the way, where you could just use the reset all button instead of having to relocate them again, because that would be a major pain if I had to just say, okay, now you put all the pigeons in place again and try again. So we'll do now one from behind so you can see what it looks like from behind. We'll throw some slow-mo on this one. And just plowing through them. I know they're not like perfectly in a straight line, but I think that kind of makes it more interesting because you get some crazy, they fly in every direction-ness. Like that one that actually went over my crash cart. And I didn't lose that much speed. I did take one of their bumpers, which is in my wheel. Oh. I think that's a bumper at least. Oh, I just shot it off. And let's do one last crash. We'll do a slow-mo with a more fancy camera angle, because this is one of those things where you want a camera angle that's not the normal one to actually be able to fully appreciate it. So we'll say looking good. We're going 80 miles per hour too. That's quite some speed to plow through some pigeons. Let's go and freeze physics right here. Get a nice camera angle ready to go. That looks good. And here we go. 100 times slow-mo, maybe. I don't know. There needs to be a 25 times slow-mo. Like 100's a little much, 8 is a little slow, or a little too little on some of these things. Like for this one, that's about what I would say is you need. Is like, well, actually, you can do that, can't you? Ah, forget it. You know, 100s work. 8 times works. You know what? Yeah, 8 times works here. And the pigeons flew. Hey, look at that pigeon. He's gonna land on my cart. Hold on, stop the cart. Catch the pigeon. That'd be cool if you could catch him. Like, you pop him into the air and then you catch him. That is not what I meant. I didn't mean get him stuck inside of your frame and then not be able to drive. Not even a little bit. So that's the crash cart. You know, you get the idea though. It's not really a great thing for crashing. I guess what we could do is show how well it itself crashes, because I haven't done much of that. I've mostly been destroying other things with it. To be fair, it should get destroyed some too. So let's go ahead and start off by just going to I don't know, let's just go to grid map. And I guess this would also be a good way to demonstrate just how strong the cart is. Because this thing is just, it uses like heavy duty metal or something. Because yeah, you see it breaking the other cars up, but you don't realize just how strong this thing is. So like if we go into that glass, or I know it's not glass, but that transparent thing right there and just smack it 60 miles per hour, not that much damage to the car. And you notice it bounces. That's because it's so stiff. It just bounces off of it. Like normally a car will hit that and it'll crash into it and deform, and because it's not as strong as this thing. This thing is so stiff and strong, it bounces off a thing. Which I don't know if that's necessarily realistic for how it would crash, but it does make it great for crashing into other things, which is why I didn't do too much of what you're seeing right now. It does have a turbo button, actually. I just found it, by the way. I was just curious because I always just forget about that, which is G. Now we can crash into this thing at 180-ish. Ooh. So yeah, you can see, you can break the crash cart if you are dedicated enough to try to do so. It's a lot of effort, but you can do it. We could also try using since it's different, the ramp. I don't know if I'll bother with the other ones. I think I might just do one with the ramp and then the cement block like you just saw. Maybe it will do the pole. But I'm just showing you like basically how strong it is for this kind of collision, a head-on one. So about 80 miles per hour, and ooh, the ramp got a little glitchy on that one. How odd. Went straight through it, but the damage to the vehicle is almost none because of the glitchiness. Normally if you hit something with the ramp, it will actually get damaged. That time I don't know how it managed to do that. There, like, well, weird. Oh, I think it is damaged that time. Yeah, a little bit. You see the ramp scraping now, so it's gonna slow you down. Alright, enough of that. Let's go and let's just take off everything. I haven't shown it with nothing on it. See right here, it's basically just a car you could drive now. You can do suspension tests with it, which it's not really good for because it doesn't have much ground clearance, as you see right here. This is like a supercar, it really is. It has low ground clearance, mid-engine, rear-wheel drive setup, probably lightweight. Well, I don't know if it's lightweight. It's really stiff. Supercars have stiff setups because they gotta be stiff. How heavy is it, this thing? 1,500 kilograms? That's pretty lightweight. No, it's not. That's heavy. Well, I mean, it depends what you're comparing it to. It sounds like a reasonable weight for how strong everything is. Like if you use the strongest metals you got, that weight kind of makes sense. Like if it's just solid metal, I don't know. Maybe not solid, but like really thick metal. Anyways, let's go ahead and I don't know. I'm thinking. Hold on, give me a second. I think what I'll do is I'll try drifting it. Try drifting it into things. So not that one. Tricked you. Drift into that block. That wasn't a drift, I know. It was more of a slide into stuff. And that ruined it. The way it's really fragile is if you just clip the tires. Like I've noticed that if you clip the tire on something, even at like maybe 20 miles per hour, you could just totally destroy it. Like right there, boop, tires just toast. Other than that though, this thing would be great in a destruction derby. You just gotta make sure nobody clips your tires. Easier said than done, huh? Whoop, do a little jump. How's it do for jumps? Not so hot. Every tire broke. Literally every tire has broken. Although it's now an amazing donut machine. Look at that thing go. Woo! Because the tires will still rotate no matter how damaged it is, at least with this version of it. I don't know what version of the mod this is, by the way. It's the author said, here's a mod, check it out, and I had it for a while before I made a video for it. So there might be a newer version of it that I'm not aware of, to be honest. But it's not a public release yet, I don't think. So I should point that out. If you want this mod, you're going to have to contact the author. Enough doing these crazy looking donuts. Let's go ahead and head to the traditional locations. By that, I mean Leap of Death and Brutal Slope. I'll pass on the descent for this. Well, what the heck. Let's go to the descent. Alright, grab the crash carts, wherever it may be. I know you're around here. There you are. It's amazing. Sometimes when my mouse is right over it, I don't see it because my mouse just happens to be right over it, and I think, hey, there's no way it'd be right under my mouse, and then it is. It's like I never notice it when it's just right there. So we'll see. Okay. Well, that's interesting because it's so heavy and low to the ground. We could actually go down this thing with this thing pretty easily. Like it can just... Oh, it's broken there. I mean, I wasn't exactly trying to get down, but if I did try, I'm pretty sure I could do it with this thing. Like other cars, it's like that's going to take a lot of attempts and a lot of luck. This one feels like it would make it easy. I'm not going to try because that's not the point of coming here. I'm just pointing that out. It drives interestingly because of that whole design. And overall, not too much damage. Not too much damage at all. So let's go and head to the other maps. Just a quick thing right there, right? Not much at all. Let's go to Brutal Slope first. Alright, here we are at Brutal Slope. Grab my crash cart. And I'll just lay the cement block on it again. Seems like the most, just appropriate thing for it. It's like the thing that's the most realistic, I guess you could say. So let's go ahead and reset it right here, and we're going to go down this slope with the turbo. I'm not going to try to convertibilize this because I think it'd be boring. So we're just going to go turbo towards the wall. or the boost button, whatever you want to call it. The G key. It's going to hit that wall at least 300 miles per hour. Oh, no, I lost control. We're going to hit that wall instead at least 300 miles per hour. And there's the crash. And there goes the cart. It is pretty much gone. Tires will still rotate though. Check that out. Yeah. Alrighty then. Like I said, I was just doing one quick thing there. Because this one, it's really not that important how well it crashes. It does crash. But the main interest is crashing into other things. That's why most of the video was just me crashing into other things with the cart, because that's really where it shines. Like, it works great for that. And the fact that it does have its J-beam structure so it can crash as well, that's more of a little extra bonus. So I'm just letting it fall down leap of death one time, and that'll be the end of the video. I probably won't bother with slow-mo here, so it'll just bounce. It didn't bounce quite as high as I thought it would, but it did bounce. Because it's so stiff. I bet if it landed right on the tips of it, yep, it would bounce really good. Right there, that was a good bounce. But anyways, that'll do it for the crash cart. And until next time, this has been WhyBeAre. I'll see ya. Well, that's nice. It didn't even glitch out in the water. Alright, like I said, see ya.